Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Last Days of Europe with me, Alpha Pi Omega, and Greater Germanic Reich. So in the last episode we managed to get control of the Verkreis 19, also known as Protectorat Böhmen und Mähren. It was reintegrated into our beautiful territory, and we also managed to sway Netherlands to rejoin the Einheitspact. Though they are not a vassal, they are just an ally. Well, okay, no more factories for us or anything, but you know, on the other hand, we are getting what we deserve, so that is fine. We are almost done with reconstructing the infrastructure and everything in our territory, which is good, and we are preparing to send help to the war in the south. I actually don't see the status of the war. We need to look this way. Okay, scan complete. We want the South African war. Okay, they're losing way more troops, and if I actually see correctly, they got some of their forces eliminated. So, while it's not looking like they will win this, we might see, well, no, we'll see. We're gonna definitely send volunteers this episode. It's gonna be kind of rough, but I'd like to send some of these units. If I had the army experience, which unfortunately I don't have because I invested into the doctrines, I could switch some of them to a special new format or a template. This way we can only do a couple of things with them. Well, we'll see. Approaching the Danes, Speer had always found it a little annoying, if he was to be openly honest about it, that this small nation of not much significance stood tall above the Reich, retaining its full independence and colors on any map printed out. Not only could they be easily swayed to join the pact, but he could make a strong case on why they would only benefit such a thing, being close Aryan brothers and having no real land disagreements. The idea would be twofold. First, Speer would offer the Danish government a small helping hand upon entering the pact, so they could ease themselves in and be comfortable amid the rest of the Reich's allies. Second, he would hold a speech that would be televised to viewers home and abroad, where he would testify to the strength of the Reich's of the Reich and the solidarity situation the Danish found them, and the solidarity situation the Danish found themselves, which, if they... This is a weird sentence. Second, he would hold a speech that would be televised to viewers home and abroad, where he would testify to the strength of the Reich and the... Oh, and the solitary situation. Solitary situation the Danish found themselves in, probably, which, if they accepted the help of the Aryan brothers below, is something that would be easily rectified. Okay, got it now. Now all that remained was to begin planning. Well, we'll get them anyway. Okay, so we're still progressing. I don't see any difference here. Have we not launched the campaign? No, campaign is in progress. So regime stability is 55%. Token political promises. Vast political promises. Let's go with the vast political promises. We need to increase the regime stability. And we also need to get enough command power. Well, we're gonna get a big boost here, which is gonna give us 30. So that would mean we probably could reinforce our involvement in the conflict twice in a row. Meaning we can send 6 divisions south. Now we need to decide what we're gonna do with you. Because now, if we added 2 elite infantry units, how would that affect you? 54, 36, 50, and defense would be massive. Breakthrough would be massive. Okay, what if we instead gave you the what was it? Air Assault Company. The breakthrough would go nuts, which might be way better. And the defense and everything. And I think we do, yeah. So I'll probably have to save and create a different template. Oh wow, that actually increases combat width. That's interesting. Some of these giving medevac. Trickleback. Yeah, the trickleback would be good as well. I would do whatever I could to get you the extra recon. We'll have to pour all army experience into that. How long? 1.46. Yeah, we're not gonna get any ready in time because it's gonna be just 6 days. Maybe we could send something else. Like, I mean, the Panzers might be better, but the fact the fact that they're so fuel hungry and the supply situation here is gonna be so bad. I don't throw a thing. Yeah, we can't even see at this point, but pretty sure that we won't be able to do anything with that. Kinda sucks, but what can you do? What can you do, man? Not much, that's for sure. The fuel situation is getting better. Yeah, daily gain is increased. I'm kind of thinking that we might get GDP growth again after we repair everything, but it's just a guess. Oh wait, we are paused. Okay, that's the issue. I was thinking that we were not doing good. Okay, let me see the state of the Reich. Because I would like to see... Okay, we're still progressing, that's good. The carrot and the stick, let's look into that, but... After we're done with Slovakia, the Polish form. We need Denmark in the faction, Netherlands in the faction, and Verkreis 19 does not exist. Okay, so once we deal with that, it's fine. Fortress of North, okay. The model colony. Okay, that's gonna open new options for us. Free France defeated Muslim in the war. Hey, good for you. The goal is maybe not out of the picture yet. Ah, okay. The carrot and the stick. There was nothing particularly outstanding about Denmark, he thought. Once Speer had looked over the economic analysis of the country, nothing at all that really made it especially valuable besides being another source for manpower and labor to feed into the Reich. That wasn't a concern here, however, even if Speer considered the Danes to be easy candidates for Germanization. They were to become allies first, and anything else would come afterwards. A short and direct economic plan was drafted up, which would give the Danes small, temporary privileges upon entering the Reich. Oh, so we're annexing them. This would take up a small portion of the Reich's budget and perhaps annoy the other subjects of the Pact slightly for favoring them like this, but continuing to consecrate rule across Europe would only benefit everyone involved. Oh, we have a couple of divisions. No factories or anything, but I think that is fine. They're very small, so it's not something that we would need to deal with. Launch campaign? No. No, the campaign is so... I need to read this. So outlook is progressing, so we are getting better, and the current outlook is conservative. Ah, okay. So this would be conservative. So we are still in this phase. This would be something this... Ah, gotcha. Okay, so I need to look at this, not this. And the regime stability is fine. 65, okay. The Caucasian question. Now, can I interact with the Netherlands now that they are... No, I can't. Well, I got it. You know, there's not such... They're trying to, you know, make this event-oriented, so that's why you cannot really break it this way, but any interaction would be nice. They're nothing without us. Speer couldn't understand how some men could hold speeches that lasted for so long about such trivial things. This, chiefly, was one of those trivial things. He was already so close in convincing them to join that he was almost visibly annoyed with dragging it out with the Danes by the time he had to begin to address the people listening. There was a short interlude whereupon a presenter introduced the many titles of the theatre, inciting roaring applause from the audience that was present, before the man nodded toward Speer as he let him take the stand. To the people of Denmark, listen to what I have to say next. I wish to call upon you a simple fact, a statement that cannot be ignored, an issue that cannot be resolved, a bothersome idea that trails behind your every footstep. Speer took a deep breath. You are alone. In this reshaping of the New World Order, you are alone. All of your troubles, your loneliness, your vulnerability, this will leave you only as a prey for greater powers willing to ruin you, bring you down into the sinking depths of history. But we are your Germanic brothers, we are your neighbors, the ones from across the river that shall bid you a warm greeting. We, the men of the Reich, are here for you, like a man fumbling in the raging river, drowning and calling for help. We will come to you and lend you a hand, and with a mighty Germanic grip we will pull you out to the safety of the world, and we will call you a friend of ours. Come, Denmark, for the 1,000-year Reich shall soar with the rest of Europa on its wings. I see how they hold speeches about trivial things now. Oh yeah. Politics. No changes here. Oh! So the Kennedy assassination happened again, even in this version. America, or President Kennedy assassinated. America mourns today as the President of the United States, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, has been shot to death on a campaign tour of Dallas, Texas. At present, those behind the shooting remain at large, and the identity and motivation of the gunman, and even where the shot was fired, remains unknown, with investigators having few leads. After the recent disgrace and resignation of President Nixon and the sudden and disturbing murder of his successor, the US is in a state of shock, and there is a great feeling of uncertainty and fear across the nation. With Speaker of the House John McCormack rushed to the White House to be inaugurated as president, so not Johnson in this way, few can claim to know what will come next, because he was the vice president originally, if I understood correctly. To be inaugurated as president, few can claim to know what will come next. With the political scene as divided as ever, the NPP mobilizing to capitalize on the situation, and the American psyche left traumatized and directionless. It takes just a second to die. And the medicine for the commissars. With the limited number of our forces in Africa, we need to ensure that each of our soldiers can fight at peak efficiency. In a private meeting, Field Marshal von Truskau has suggested sending the right kind of medicine to our troops at the front. Stimulants, to be precise, or, as they are more commonly known, combat drugs. As a proud Prussian, von Truskau despises such underhanded methods, but even he cannot deny our difficult situation. If we want to win, we'll have to fight dirty, no matter the price, even if we have to lose our honor in the present. Gets events panacea and gets events status update. Okay. Lesko's plan has been chosen, or Erhard's plan. Okay, so we'll get another event. Let's do the Doppeldenken in the meantime. And we have extra. Nice! Okay, 59. Wow, actually, this is really good. So 60 civilian and 65 military. So we'll need to add, 7 more. So trains are okay. This is okay. And this is fine. This is fine. Let's put one more factory here. We are upgrading the motorized, so let's put 2 more factories here, so that's 3, 61. The Panzer is... We're not upgrading, that's weird. Are we not using it at all? I think I'm gonna add 2 more factories here, and we'll need to get 2 more transports. So let's see, that ought to do it. Okay, and with that said, we can now reinforce the war effort. We will send more volunteers to our allies. And for some reason I cannot... Oh, I don't have enough towed artillery. But I could send them the attack helicopters. Civilian protests increase. How are we doing on the artillery? Are we dead bad? No, we are very close. I think the artillery would be better. Yeah, it's the drilling that's actually making us unable. Okay, and I don't have enough factories to do that. Welcome home. So Denmark joins the Einheitspact. Okay, so they're not annexed. They're just part of the economic zone. Speer let out a sigh of relief. What else was he expecting to happen, really? Considering the geopolitical position of the Danes, there really was only one option left for them to take. The other would leave them stranded and alone, ripe for the taking. As he silently read the letter through in his office, a small, where was it? A small, satisfied smile came to his lips. They had agreed, and over the course of the next month, Denmark would begin its entry into the pact. Seems like his Germanic rhetoric has worked after all, and the money boost certainly convinced the more pragmatic-minded Danes in their cabinet. The economy of the Einheitspact would see a small but noticeable increase in its wealth, and the map of Europa printed out in the future could finally shade that small blotch of land in as belonging to the Reich sphere of influence. Okay, welcome back to the Pact. Nice. Building it again. Panacea. Henning von Trasco makes his way to the Führer's office to discuss the evolution of the Krieg im Süden, as it was now known by the public. The situation is difficult, but there are ample avenues for improvements. Reorganize the supply chain, improve the training, fire incompetent officers. One day the Reich will have an army to match the Prussian Golden Age and the invasion of Poland. Sadly, even one of these reforms would take months, if not years, to enact. As he waits for the secretary to announce his presence to the Führer, he can't help feeling pathetic. All his preaching about Prussian discipline, honor, need for reforms, and now, oh God, the mere thought makes him want to puke. The Führer awaits you, Field Marshal. The secretary's voice awakens von Trasco from his thoughts, and he enters the adorned office. Welcome, Field Marshal, comes Speer's voice, to which he immediately salutes. I heard you have a proposal to improve the war effort. Please, by all means, enlighten me. Mein Führer, he begins. Then his mouth goes dry, sweat coating his face and dampening his uniform. Then, in a strangled voice, he explains. We need to increase our troops' efficiency, and we need to do it quickly. For this reason, I advise sending stimulants to our troops. Oh, was Speer's only reply. Clearly he didn't expect the principled Prussian to come up with such a plan. This goes against all you advocate, Field Marshal. Are you sure this is the only way we can prevail? A tense nod was his only answer, shame visible on the general's face. So we use political power, stability, and spending. There's nothing more to say then. Okay. Well, can I now send you the volunteers? Oh, I can send 2 divisions. Okay, so that's even better. So wait, how are we going to handle this? Oh dang, they're almost there. Some of them are almost there. Well, I mean, they can train even while they are there, so it's not such a bad thing. So the German students, We're gonna create a new army here, and we'll need to send someone with them. Ranger, camera officer, and careful. Oh, you were pretty good. Anyone else? Engineer, trickster, fortress buster, extra reconnaissance, but you have a not much good as far as attack goes. Actually, it would be better to send the experienced generals, wouldn't it? Helmut, what are you like? Infantry expert, infantry leader, and an organizer. Yeah. Let's assign you to this unit. How much thief? Yep. We are going to assign you. So you are going to get the volunteers. This is the... Okay, let's go with the army 1. So we'll see who we're sending. Actually, are you guys fighting in the air? You are not, but I can still send the volunteers if I want to, right? Okay, send 2 divisions, or maximum 2. Send air volunteers. Yep. Helmut. Chief. Send. Okay, so we're gonna accept that. What about Ostafrika? 2 more. Amazing. So they're gonna be led by Otto Hitzfeld, I think. Yeah, infantry leader and infantry expert. So let's send you and you. Actually, no, we can use these guys and assign him. Let's make sure we are assigning him. Where are you? Here you are, Otto Hitzfeld. So we're going to be sent to Ostafrika. Okay. And Reichskommissariat Südwestafrika. 2 more. Okay. So let's send you guys. And who is going to lead you? Someone... Mountaineer, that's Panzer expert. Trickster, Desert Fox. Improvisation. And a drummer. Remmer. And we're gonna send you here. Okay. Cool. So that requires now to assign the new leaders to our units. So infantry leader, sure. No, wait, what? These guys are assigned Armea. So wait, let's use Winter Specialist. Okay, you. And someone from here. Remmer, we have sent. Panzer leader. Okay, you. And you need. As a Panzer leader, I don't want to skirmish and commando. Okay, you. Good. And we'll see once they arrive, we might be able to change the template for them, but we'll see. We'll see how it's gonna go. Germany restores control over Central Europe. The Reichsprotectorate of Böhmen and Mähren, together with the Netherlands and Denmark, were the territories where Germanization proved the most successful. When Germany fractured, these territories entered a state of political upheaval, but in the end, lands this close to the beating heart of the Reich couldn't be allowed to become a potential threat. As such, it was no surprise when the new government in Germania decided to quickly move in and seize back such important provinces, especially in the Netherlands with their trade ports and Bohemia with its industrial core. With a friendly governments in Copenhagen and Amsterdam and the total annexation of the Reichsprotectorate, the new Führer has secured control over Central Europe. Long live the Reich. So next steps. Let's see. The State of the Reich. Campaign is still in progress. Yeah, we are now conservative only by 2.41. So issue of Slovakia, the Polish Thorn, fortress up north, or the model colony. House in Ostlandia. Let's start by the fortress up north. Norway is, I think, the most valuable one now. We'll need to address that. Montier forces, 18th of August. Okay, in 5 days we will have 6 divisions. That's gonna help. I think we're gonna start pushing towards Port Nolov. That ought to work best for us. Status update. Albert Speer sighs as he looks at the two men bickering in front of him. Another week, another meeting, another 2 hours of hearing his ministers quarrel about the strategy in this damn war. This time, however, the situation is different. The war is quickly evolving and a final choice needs to be made. Even he knows it. Dreading the next hour, the Führer coughs, distracting the two from their discussion. Reichsminister Schmidt, Field Marshal von Tresckow, make your arguments one final time. We need to decide now. Easily done, my Führer. Honestly, most if this isn't my work, but Reichsminister Erhard has devised a plan to ensure we can limit our losses as much as possible. To put it simply, we'll stall the war as long as we can and liquidate all possible assets before retreating. We'll load up all extracted resources and bring them to Germany, evacuate the personnel, transfer all remaining supplies, sell state-owned companies and shares and drain all funds from the Reichskommissariat. Once we have secured as much as we can, we'll abandon Africa altogether. On one thing I agree with Herr Schmidt, begins von Tresckow. Keeping Deutsche Africa may cost us more than any resources we are gaining now. Still, if we leave our positions there, we'll do it when and how we want. We won't be dictated to by foreign power. To this end, the Oberkommando der Wehrmacht has devised a series of special operations to defeat the Americans and win the war. They only need your approval, mein Führer. Speer looks at the ceiling, deep in thought. The honor of the Reich demands retribution for this humiliation, but the cost may be more than the Germany can afford now. It's possible to satisfy all parties involved, but the best choice clearly is to deal a decisive blow to the enemy of Germany. The offensive strategy will be added, which gains division speed, organization and attack plus 15%, defense minus 10%. 90 days. Our military professionalism, social development will begin to slowly improve. Regime stability will increase. Unfortunately, this benefits the conservatism. I don't like that, but yeah, the outlook is progressing at a much slower rate. South African War. Okay, they're losing it. The Union of South... Yeah, and they're losing more units even. Their losses are staggering, so... while it doesn't seem that way, we are winning this. There might not even be need for more. So, once we're done with the Doppeldenken, we're gonna go in the Glory in Victory. In 2 days, our units will arrive in the territories and will be done there. Will be great. 1400. Jesus Christ, the production efficiency really needs to ramp up. Okay, Doppeldenken. The Reich is the greatest nation in the world that has ever been seen, yet it has become feeble and weary. Its people, united in the Volksgemeinschaft, are ever faithful Aryans, proud children of the Germanic race. Yet we have just spent months tearing ourselves apart over ideological differences. Adolf Hitler was an infallible Führer, the wisest and strongest ruler in history, a true messiah of the German nation, but our weakness was born from his mistakes. In our hearts we know ourselves to be the undisputed masters of this world, but the power of Japan and the United States further eclipse our glory with every passing day. National Socialism made us great, but National Socialism was the catalyst for our decline. The system is broken, twisted, inefficient, and it's all we've got. Never has it been more apparent that the Reich must change. Hitler's ideals, good and bad, brought us to this point. How can we ever abandon them? It would be madness, yes, but for all their genius, where is our everlasting victory? Why, if the Führer was infallible, are we so benign and feeble? Change must come, but it would go against everything that makes the Reich what it is. We cannot betray the Reich, but the state of it ensures that the German people suffer under economic strain and violent division. Still, I can solve this. I alone. No obstacle can be permitted to stand in my way, not even the truth. The halls of Germania on the streets of Germany. Nuremberg Rade. Now let's go with the glory to victory. Okay, we need to bypass this then. Field Marshal von Truscow is right. We are a world superpower and won't allow the Americana and their puppets to meddle in the empire so many Germans died for. Each and every part of the Reich is as important to us as Germania itself, and we won't go down without a fight. The Reichskommissars will have all they need to prevail and secure our African holdings, and will organize several special operations in order to surgically strike at the enemy, weakening them and allowing our main forces to prevail. Still, we need to act fast, or the cost of such an operation may be more than what our people are ready to accept. So another blitzkrieg. Okay, let's go. Yet another blitzkrieg. How delightful. Production efficiency growth is lowered by 46%. Oh, because of the army funding. Okay, so our units have arrived.
Achtung! Befehle. Alright.
Okay, I'll need to, unfortunately... I'll need to send them manually for now. Because as it turns out, they cannot be combined. But that is fine. I'm fine with that. So go my lovelies, get in the territory where I want you to. Can I switch your... Yes, I can switch your template, which will allow me to duplicate this. And we'll call this PDG Operationsgruppe PGD. No, wait. Let's call this okay. Special Helicopter Operations Group. Wait, did I duplicate it or I didn't? Duplicate. I did, okay. I forgot. So Helicopter Operations Group date, and we'll give you the... What was it? Air Assault Company. And we'll give you one extra elite infantry unit. which we are then going to use on you, but that's gonna be hell, won't it? Now the supply here is kind of good, so we'll see if we can provide it to them. And we get specialist weapons, good. If I'm not mistaken, that increases the soft attack of special units. No, yeah, by 7% and defense by +5. Let's get them the advanced special forces training, extra recovery of 0.2 and +5 organization. The campaign is still in progress. Okay, we're conservative by minus 1.58. And the Great Hungarian Game. Have we approached? I thought we were going with Norway. Water of Penance. Okay, let's read these two and then end the episode here. We're already going over time. So, the Great Hungarian Game. For years now, Hungary has been an unwilling participant in Germany's sphere of influence, both militarily and economically. Times are perhaps changing, however, although both countries share leadership that leans to the right on the political spectrum. That is where the similarities end. Let me see. Hungary has benefited from the Reich winning significant... Oh, corporatism. Okay. Hungarian sentiment towards the Germans is almost non-existent at this point. Any goodwill Germany still had with the small country ended when it stood by as Hungary's neighbors tore her apart in her moment of weakness following the market crash of the 50s. Did they? Well, I guess Romania stole something and Serbia as well. It is hardly surprising then that Hungary is keeping its options open as the Reich recovers from its disastrous civil war. The Italians, perhaps sensing a prime opportunity to undermine the Germans, have begun to reopen diplomatic channels, with there being talks of possible Italian investment into the economy and a mutual defensive pact. Not to be outdone, the Germans are likewise now taking special interest into their neighbor and historic ally. It seems the two are now in direct competition with each other once again, and the price for such a high-stakes game? For such a great game? Hungary, of course. So it's that. It is. Oh, this is looking really good. Now I like that. Okay, we'll investigate that next time. And the letter of penance. I should have you shot, dog. The uncommon spark of fury within Speer's voice only prompted a smile from Schörner, who felt pain shoot through his back as he was slammed against the wall by two Orpo agents, cold concrete running across the length of his thin coat. Speer, meanwhile, stood 2 meters away, carrying with him a loaded pistol, as well as a menacing glare in his gaze. You are one of the worst traitors to the Reich, and by all accounts I should have you executed here and now, he continued, pulling back the hammer of the gun as Schörner could see the round smooth black of the barrel pointing down at him. None of these is our... Schörner is a general, isn't he? The silence that came from Schörner emphasized the small cough he gave afterwards, ringing insultingly throughout the bland and empty room, and he felt the sun flood his neck with warmth as he craned his head up to look at Speer. Well then, go on, he said, lips parting to reveal a small, victorious grin. Kill me. Start another civil war. I'm certain the militarists will accept whatever judgment you pass. Wait, is he the leader? No, okay. I think he and Rommel were the ones that seized Germania. The burning sarcasm tightened Speer's grip on the pistol, and a finger itched to slip into the trigger zone, yet didn't. Perhaps you can even quarter and draw me. Then they would cheer, wouldn't they? A defiant gaze followed a sudden, sharper and wilder tone. Wouldn't they, Herr Speer? Speer grimaced so hard he felt like his teeth would shatter. In a moment of anger, a tired hand swung cold steel towards Schörner's head, slamming him and leaving a heavy bruise on the grinning man's face. Release him, Speer ordered, and Schörner felt his limbs lighten. And get the hell out of my sight. I don't want to look at you until things stabilize. Blood poured from the cut inside his cheek, and Schörner spat, staining Speer's shirt with red. Huh. Go ahead with my fear. That was a bit unexpected. New great game turn. Well, we're gonna look at this next time. Thank you very much for joining me for this episode. I'm looking forward to our involvement in the south, but I think we'll be golden. Yeah, the defense here, the more is raging, but I think we can win this pretty handsomely. So if we changed, both of you to the new one, the HPS. Yeah, we have everything we need for that. So let's start with them and see when they are going to get their equipment. In the meantime, we're going to use the other 4 divisions for the fighting. Cool. Looking forward to another conflict. Till then, you guys, take care.